Someone asked, can we draw a comparison between how God lost his son, Jesus, to how we lose our sons or our daughters as humans? Well, in a sense, we can understand the loss because I know that I've lost a son, and I know how difficult it was for me to bury him. It was a painful experience to hold your own son and to know that you're never going to see him again in this life. And so that pain is really indescribable unless you've actually been there. It is a horrible sorrow that we bear. But, stop and think about it for a second. From God's perspective, when he lost his son, it wasn't because he lost him. It was because he delivered him up to be crucified. Men did not take Christ's life away from him. Jesus made that very clear. You do not take my life from me. I lay it down freely. He came for this purpose. When the Father sent the Son to come to this earth, he sent him with the purpose of dying that horrible death on the cross. I can't begin to fathom the difference. As a father with a son who's lost a son, as a father who's experienced the grief of losing a child, I can't even begin to comprehend what my grief would look like if I caused my son's death, if I initiated my son's death, if I was the one who delivered him up to death for that purpose. I can't begin to comprehend the love that God has for us in that he sent his only begotten son to die on that cross for that purpose. That's why when Jesus is on the cross, the Bible tells us that darkness came on the earth, that there was an incredible darkness, a frightening darkness that took us all the way back to the book of Exodus with the plague of darkness, where there was no light shining whatsoever. Heaven refused to shine its light. And in the midst of that darkness, Jesus cried out, my God, Eloi, Eloi, which is a term of estrangement. He's speaking to a foreign God, a God he doesn't know, a God who seems unknowable. Eloi, Eloi, why have you forsaken me? Because at that moment, the Father turned his back on his only begotten son and refused to look at him on that cross. He refused to look out on him because in Christ were the sins of his people. And God refused to look upon that sin and turned that world into utter darkness, even amidst the cries of, my God, why have you forsaken me? I can't begin to comprehend that from the perspective of a father who has lost a child. But in the sense of grief, in the sense of heartache and brokenness, how much it must have grieved the heart of God to actually turn his back amidst the screams of his son on that cross of, my God, why have you forsaken me? I can't even begin to comprehend that. Only insofar as I grieve in the loss of his son can I fully comprehend the loss that God the Father felt for his own son and the grief he felt in seeing his son die that ignoble death on the cross. So yes, we can compare up to a point, but when it comes to understanding the full depth of God's love for us in giving up his son for that purpose, we can only imagine.